Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXB and we are near the end of April 2023 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency hasn't moved at all since the last 24 hours. As a matter of fact, the global cryptocurrency market is exactly the same at $1.16 trillion since the last 24 hours. Quite strange to be honest. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about what is going on in the world of cryptocurrencies, DeFi, NFT, stablecoins and quite a lot more. But the big question is guys, is crypto dead in America? And one of the multi-billionaires and probably the largest holder of Bitcoin or hodler of Bitcoin did actually say that crypto might just be dead in America. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore who that person is. And look guys, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist or an OG of Bitcoin, you'd actually know who I'm talking about. He just might be one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin in history. Maybe Grayscale Trust might be owning more Bitcoins than him. So him telling that crypto is dead is definitely massive news. And guys, lately, United States of America with the left-leaning administration is not providing to be a safe haven for Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchain protocols. And the biggest news that is circulating right now is Ripple. They are planning to leave United States of America as well. And a few weeks ago on my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I did talk about Coinbase. They did share some opinions on leaving the US. And guys, there's some massive drama going on regarding Coinbase and looks like they are suing the Securities Exchange Commission. Now in today's episode guys, I won't give out information regarding Coinbase versus SEC. So in tomorrow's episode, I'll go ahead and give out elaborate information on what grounds is Coinbase suing Securities Exchange Commission. So please check out the episode tomorrow. Now in today's episode, I'm going to be discussing a massive giant called as Google, and Google Cloud is planning to help Web3 developers. So definitely check out that news, particularly if you're a developer. And looks like Google Cloud is definitely going to help Web3 development. And apart from Google, even Visa is on a hiring spree. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore the different roles that Visa is hiring. And this is more to do with crypto developers. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and Middle East. Now the first news is from Abu Dhabi and the second news is from Saudi Arabia. And guys, since 2023, I'm seeing quite a lot of news regarding Saudi Arabia. Now the first news is about Venom Foundation and they have announced the release of its public testnet. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that news. And the second news is Saudi Arabia is teaming up with South Korea's VMade to power gaming and blockchain sectors. So really interesting news where Middle East is merging with Asian countries. So quite a lot to cover in today's episode. So let's get started with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee Date aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since we've taken care of that, let's look at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, surprisingly, guys, since the last 72 hours, the global cryptocurrency market, when I'm checking, is exactly the same at $1.16 trillion. And to be honest, this just might be the very first time in my history where I've seen that the global cryptocurrency market has been absolutely the same for 3 consecutive days. Now, since the last 24 hours, though, it is down by 0.18%, and the total crypto market once again is ridiculously low at $34.54 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 10.70%. The total volume in DeFi once again is ridiculously low at $3.06 billion. And guys, yesterday in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I did show concerns why I'm really disappointed in the numbers in DeFi particularly. Because look, when you talk about cryptocurrency mainstream adoption, DeFi volumes should definitely be well over the $20 billion mark, maybe even the $40 billion mark. And guys, to be completely honest, I really am not sure when we'll be seeing that numbers. But so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is still below the $50 billion mark, and as of today it is at $48.01 billion, and Lido is still dominating at 23.85%, and so far as its total value locked is concerned, it is at $11.45 billion. Now mind you guys, in 2022, MakerDAO's total value locked used to be dominating, and when you talk about DeFi, you could not dismiss Boom or DeFi, that is MakerDAO. Now the only reason why Lido is dominating is only because of the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, so I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in probably 2 months from now, the dominance of Lido definitely goes down. But so far as the total value locked is concerned for MakerDAO, it is at $7.36 billion, Aave is number 3rd at $5.17 billion, Core Finance at $4.34 billion, and finally Uniswap at $4.02 billion. The next matrix, guys, is of stablecoins. It is ridiculously low at $30.97 billion, and it accounts for 89.65% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. But listen to this, guys. The market cap of Tether USDT is $81.51 billion, and I really am not sure why the market cap of Bitfinex's Tether USDT is increasing. If you do know why it is increasing, mention them in the comments below, because if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it has constantly been on a decline, particularly since mid of 2022, and as of today it is only at $22.59 billion. So big question is, what happens to the remainder of the funds? You have a market cap of $81.51 billion, so technically and legally, Bitfinex or Tether USDT should have $81.51 billion, but so far as the 24-hour trading volume is concerned, it is only at $22.59 billion. So if you do know why there is so much of difference, mention them in the comments below. The Circle USDC's 24-hour trading volume is $4.31 billion, but if you look at its market cap, it is at $30.75 billion. And guys, Binance BUSD's market cap has been on a constant decline, and it is down to $6.30 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is $2.22 billion. Now listen guys, if you do want to do your own research, what I'd really recommend you to do is look at these numbers between Circle USDC's 24-hour trading volume and Binance BUSD's 24-hour trading volume from September of 2022. There has been massive movements. There has been days where Binance BUSD's market cap has been more than double of Circle USDC, and prior to September of 2022, Circle USDC's 24-hour trading volume was on an increase, and there was massive drama going on between Binance BUSD and Circle USDC, and that's one of the reasons why Circle USDC's volume has been going down. But ever since SEC is going after Binance BUSD, and there are rumors circulating that Circle USDC may have complained to SEC. But what are your thoughts, guys? I personally am a huge fan of Circle USDC. If given a choice, let's say between Tether USDT, Binance BUSD and Circle USDC, personally I would pick Circle USDC. So if you agree to my thoughts or disagree to them, mention them in the comments below. But once again guys, the biggest worrisome matrix of our stablecoins is concerned is the volume of stablecoins is at $30.97 billion, and I'm talking about the 24-hour volume, but stablecoin accounts for 89.65% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. This, guys, is a massive no. Now let's look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's market cap, guys, is $533 billion, whereas Ethereum's market cap is $220 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is almost double of that of Ethereum's. It is at $14.98 billion, whereas Ethereum is $7.81 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin has marginally gone up at 46.06%, and the dominance for Ethereum is 19.10%. Now in today's episode, guys, I'll very briefly talk about Privacy Coin's market cap, that is Monero. It is at $2.88 billion, Mask Network is $358 million, and Zcash at $339 million. And guys, while we're on the topic of privacy coins, one question which I'd like to ask you guys is, what is the difference between privacy and anonymity, and that is the biggest difference between Monero and Zcash. So it's so critical to truly understand when you look at privacy coins that you truly understand the difference between your transactions being completely private and being completely anonymous. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. It is currently at $27,653, and since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 1%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 8.27%. And Ethereum, guys, ever since the Shanghai upgrade date kicked in, the price has been on a downfall. It is at $1,843. Since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.52%. Now guys, Glassnodes, they tend to provide a weekly insight, and what they did actually state is that last week, a lot of institutional investors were getting involved in Ethereum staking. Unfortunately, that news has not reflected positively so far as the price of Ethereum is concerned. Now, since the last 24 hours though, Ethereum is down by 11.22%, and Binance BNB coin is at $333. Since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.33%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 2.37%. And guys, in my episode yesterday, I did talk about Binance planning to open up operations in Russia, and this was more to do with the trading limit of $10,000. Now, if that thing escalates, I'm pretty much sure it's going to have devastating consequence on the price of Binance BNB coin. Because listen guys, the United States of America, with the left-leaning administration, is definitely not a fan of cryptocurrencies and blockchain protocols. And what happened is that multi-billionaire and the biggest holder of Bitcoin, Palihapitiya, he did actually state that crypto is dead in America. Now listen guys, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist and an OG of Bitcoin, you pretty much know at this point of time that Palihapitiya is one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin, and I do think he has more Bitcoins than maybe Michael Saylor as well, but I really am not sure. But right now, he's the CEO of Social Capital. But what happened is that he was in an interview with a podcasting channel called as All In Podcast. So definitely check it out on YouTube. Now, All In Podcast, they don't necessarily talk about cryptocurrencies as such. They look at things at a macro level and different industries as well. Now go to YouTube. Link is in the show notes below. Somewhere around the 1 hour 21 minute mark, he did actually state that crypto is dead in America. Now what is really interesting to note guys, when he actually said that, his facial experience was absolutely sad. He was looking absolutely frustrated while he was saying that. And you need to understand guys that Palihapitiya was an iconic person in the launch of Facebook as well, and he's if not one of the biggest investors. Now him saying that is an absolutely massive deal, and in that interview he did actually blame crypto's demise largely on regulators who have gotten much more aggressive in the pursuit of bad actors in the industry, and he particularly took aim at the SEC and the chair of SEC, that is Gary Gensler. And he also said that Gary Gensler has said crypto trading platforms should abide by strict US securities laws. So definitely not ideal. And guys, few days ago in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, I did talk about Coinbase. They're on the verge of leaving USA, and Bybit, they have already made plans of leaving US. Now the biggest news that is circulating right now is about Ripple, and there are news that Ripple may be leaving the United States of America as well. Now one thing to note is that guys, Ripple is not an open blockchain. I personally am not a fan of Ripple, and I don't think so that you actually need a cryptocurrency called as XRP for it to exist. And guys, in July of 2022, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse did actually warn that the company would consider moving to another country if it loses the case in the United States, citing the need to build its business in more regulatory jurisdictions amendable to its operation. And guys, listen, Ripple has a CEO. Does Ethereum have a CEO? Definitely not. Does Bitcoin have a CEO? Definitely not. But nonetheless, CEO Brad Garlinghouse is definitely not a fan of its business remaining in the United States of America. But Ripple, guys, is a major player in the cryptocurrency industry and has been considering moving out of the US due to its ongoing legal battle with the SEC. And Ripple executives have been engaging in activities that suggest expansions in other countries, and signs of Ripple's increased presence outside the US have recently emerged. Now guys, the possibility of Ripple relocating to a friendlier regulatory jurisdiction like Coinbase recently did with its offshore exchange in Bermuda has been a topic speculation in the crypto community, and Brad Garlinghouse has warned that the company would consider moving to another country if it loses the case in US. Now while Ripple has stated its intention to file the legal battle and potentially appeal to the Supreme Court, experts predict it would take years to reach a final decision, and Ripple executives have praised the regulatory environment in other countries such as the UK and Europe, where there are clear rules and a welcoming approach to the crypto industry, and further indications of Ripple's potential move away from the US can be on its official website. And guys, if you actually go through the job openings, majority of the job openings are outside of the US. Now, if more companies, let's say like Ripple, do decide to move out of the US, maybe come down to Dubai or UAE, it would have significant consequences for the country, and the loss of these companies could lead to a decline in the US economy, as well as a reduction in innovation and investment in the cryptocurrency industry. Additionally, guys, it could result in a brain drain, as talented individuals may choose to follow these companies to new locations, further weakening the US economy. So the big question, guys, I have for you is, how might Ripple's potential move to a more crypto-friendly jurisdiction impact the future of cryptocurrency regulations in the United States, and what measures can the US take to prevent companies like Ripple from leaving the country and potentially damaging the US economy? Now, what are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. Because look, guys, when you talk about regulations, it is definitely great to have regulations, but in case of SEC and the left-leaning administration, it is not the regulation but lack of clarity by the SEC that seems to be a problem. And guys, in my episode tomorrow, I'll also talk about Coinbase that is suing SEC, so definitely not ideal with the left-leaning administration and the SEC. Now guys, let's discuss massive news regarding Google and artificial intelligence, and Web3 startups can now get additional benefits as part of Google for Startups Cloud program. And Google Cloud, guys, is looking to help Web3 builders fast-track their project by expanding its early-stage support program for the community, and the program is called Google for Startups Cloud program, and it's an initiative which provides support for startups and emerging projects, and now they will be offered to build in the Web3 industry to scale their projects faster and more securely. And guys, if you want to be part of it, go through the show notes below and you will find the official link where you can find massive information to supercharge your growth with Google for Startup Clouds program. So check it out, because looks like you can get access to startup experts. And guys, listen, your Google Cloud and Firebase costs are covered for up to $200,000 and $350,000 for artificial intelligence startups for over 2 years. And they also offer technical training, business support, and quite a lot of other. So definitely go ahead and check it out. And the link for the application can also be found via the link, so definitely go ahead and check it out. Now guys, let's discuss some positive news, and this is to do with Visa. And Blockworks is reporting that Visa is on a hiring spree, and they are hiring more crypto developers to drive mainstream adoption, and Visa is seeking experienced crypto developers to advance the acceptance of public blockchain network and stablecoin payments. And guys, if you go through the job description, it clearly states that the Visa crypto team is building the next generation of products to facilitate commerce in everyone's digital and mobile lives, and their focus is to build intuitive features that expose profound new values for their customers. And guys, they are hiring for experienced software engineers who are proficient programmers and have experience in building highly available and scalable backend systems and are passionate about Web3 stack of technologies. Now what I really like, guys, they actually mentioned is that they are looking for engineers who are passionate about Web3 stack of technologies. So definitely brilliant stuff. Now guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is from Abu Dhabi, and it is about Venom Foundation, and they have announced the release of its public testnet. So the website, guys, is Venom.Foundation, and guys, as you know, Venom Foundation is licensed under Abu Dhabi Global Market or ADGM framework and is dedicated to the development and launch of Venom blockchain, providing scalable and secure solutions for real-world applications. And guys, earlier this year, I definitely covered news about Venom Foundation because they had committed to, I believe, $1 billion in order to help development of Web3 and blockchain protocols in the UAE. And the massive news is that the Venom Foundation has released its public testnet, and Venom, guys, is a layer 1 blockchain that operates out of the Abu Dhabi Global Market or ADGM, and the testnet launch is a significant accomplishment in Venom's roadmap as it prepares to launch on mainnet. And along with testnet launch, Venom has unveiled a host of in-house developed decentralized applications as part of its growing ecosystem, and the testnet designs suit both ecosystem users and developers. Now listen, guys, when you talk about Bitcoin or blockchain protocol, ideally it should not be connected or related only to one geographical restriction, but nonetheless, Venom Foundation enables developers to test and debug decentralized apps and blockchain protocols while allowing users to experience these decentralized apps firsthand. And the goal of the program is to encourage innovation and community building within the ecosystem, and developers and users can try out the testnet in 2 simple steps. So go to the website and definitely check it out. Because first, you need to download the Venom wallet on mobile or desktop, and then you can claim a free testnet allocation to start testing the ecosystem. And guys, the Venom blockchain boasts ultra-fast speed of 10,000 transactions per second and dynamic sharding features that enhance scalability and network reliability. Now listen guys, it's so critical that you truly understand what the blockchain trilemma problem is. What happens usually is, whenever a blockchain protocol promises high transaction per second, they often compromise on one of these things, that is scalability, security, or centralizations. Now in case of Venom blockchain, I do have this feeling that there might be some or very strong degree of centralizations, but nonetheless, developers can try their hand at building on the asynchronous Venom blockchain, and Venom's network boosts interoperability, making it a viable tool for developers, while its transaction fees make it user-friendly for global adoption, and several decentralized apps are set to make the debut on Venom testnet, such as Venom Wallet, Venom Scan, Venom Pools, Venom Bridge, Venom Stake, Web3.world, VUp, NFT Mint, and Oasis Gallery. And Venom Foundation Gas is licensed by the ADGM and enables the acceleration of global Web3 projects. My big question is, guys, what happens, let's say, if ADGM decides that they need to go ahead and put certain things, maybe to be Sharia compliant? If that is the case, unfortunately, I don't think Venom Foundation or Venom Blockchain will be following the ethos of open blockchain. Now, the Abu Dhabi global market is an oasis for investors and financial services firm, positioning Venom as the world's first compliant blockchain with capabilities of dynamic sharding, low fees, ultra-fast speed and scalability. Venom harbors the potential to function as the main infrastructure for a global ecosystem of Web3 applications. Now guys, to be completely honest, since 2017, I've been hearing about sharding, I've been hearing different ways to go ahead and increase the transactions per second, but they often compromise on centralization. So let me try to do more research, and maybe I'll try to release an episode only on Venom blockchain. Now guys, let's discuss the second news, and this is all the way from Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is teaming up with South Korea's Remade to power gaming and blockchain sector. Now guys, I'm pretty much sure I have definitely covered Remade news probably a few months ago, and this was more to do with the Metaverse Everything podcast. So let me try to give us some more information. Now the website for Remade is remade.com. And guys, Remade is behind a blockchain gaming platform called Remix and the Legend of Mir series, with the games that have attracted millions of users globally. And Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Investment signed an agreement with South Korean video gaming developer Remade, and the agreement aims to boost the growth of gaming and blockchain industries in Saudi Arabia. And Remade participated in South Korea Investment Forum in Seoul in November of 2022, and the Ministry of Investment in Saudi Arabia is excited about Remade's progress in expanding its activity in the kingdom. So look guys, this is an absolutely massive deal, and the ministry aims to facilitate business opportunities for foreign entities as part of Saudi Arabia's 2030 vision. And guys, keeping Saudi Arabia's 2030 vision, I'm seeing quite a lot of news, particularly in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, Web3, NFTs, and Metaverse. Now my big question is, in the next coming years, who will turn out to be a leader? Will it be Saudi Arabia, or will it be the United Arab Emirates? Now the vision of Saudi Arabia focuses on diversifying the country's energy-based economy, and Remade also teamed up with public investment fund-backed Savvy Games 966 in February of 2023. And Ghazi entities are exploring various initiatives aimed at training, producing educational content, localization of games, and sponsoring regional events. And the demand for games or blockchain technologies continue to grow in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And Remade Gaza is committed to showcasing its capabilities and delivering innovative solutions that meet Saudi Arabia's needs. And the partnership with Saudi Ministry will create new opportunities in the global game industry. And Remade is behind a blockchain gaming platform called Remix. And guys, as we know, blockchain is a digital chain of transactions linked by cryptography on an open ledger. And guys, the gaming industry in Saudi Arabia is poised to grow 250% by 2030, with esports leading the growth. And guys, the growth would mean that its contribution to Saudi Arabia's GDP will have surged about 50 times by 2030 compared with 2022. And the kingdom's gaming industry received new funding worth $488 million in February 2023. And gaming consumptions in the kingdom is projected to hit $6.8 billion by 2030. And South Korea's Seoul-based VMade established its Middle East headquarters in Abu Dhabi in January of 2023 to focus on the region. And that was the news, guys. I'm pretty much sure I did cover on the Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. So what are your thoughts, guys? If you're in the gaming industry, you definitely need to check it out. So those are the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question with Sasha who asks, are there any events that could trigger significant price movements? Absolutely yes, Sasha. But one of the biggest events that is going to take place is probably around the 2nd or the 3rd of May, and the Federal Reserve Board Chair Jerome Powell will be announcing the interest rate hike. And listen, Sasha, it's going to be really crucial to truly understand what kind of an interest rate hike will he be announcing. You need to understand that the US banking industry is in an absolute turmoil, and Janet Yellen did actually stress that she would not want the Federal Reserve Board to increase the interest rate hike. Now, there are rumors circulating by left-leaning mainstream media that Jerome Powell might only announce a 25 basis points, which I kind of agree to it. Now, that would significantly impact or trigger significant price movements, particularly, let's say, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But apart from that, Sasha, one of the biggest events probably in the history of US economy is the US debt ceiling. And I did mention it a few days ago in my podcast, is that the US debt ceiling might be on the verge of breaking the barriers, and this might happen probably around June or maybe even before that, and that could have significant consequence. Whenever that thing happens, that will have massive impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as well. And apart from that, things, let's say, that are not related to the world of US or to the world of finance, that is geopolitical chaos. Let's say if you see an escalation between Russia or Ukraine or China and Taiwan or even in Sudan, the world is in absolutely chaos right now. Those things which are not directly linked to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin could also trigger significant improvements significantly in the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And if you look at inflation in UK, Sasha, it was absolutely horrendous. It was, I believe, at 10%, much higher than anticipated. And the political situation, particularly in UK, is not looking good at all. So really, I'm not sure what is going on in UK politics. So these things which are not directly linked to cryptocurrencies will definitely trigger significant price movements. Now, this part of time, it's really hard to say if it's going to impact it in a positive or in a negative way. But to answer your question, Sasha, one of the biggest events that is going to take place is probably next week, and Jerome Powell will be announcing the interest rate hike. And this is what I feel. If he announces a 25 basis points increase, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely be bumping up. But let's say if he announces a higher interest rate hike, then I'm pretty much sure the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely be on a downfall. So those are my thoughts, Sasha. So that's all for today, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please mention them in the comments below, or drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and guys, also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, guys, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. Thanks so much for listening and have a nice one. Bye-bye.